Okay, so we're talking about the trivium. I could have used that time to put it on pause, but actually I can pause this at will. First part was grammar. The second part was what was it? I'm gonna go look it up so I can add my comment. Okay, so I looked it up. I always forget this one. I don't know why. I know in my mind I know what it does, but I can't verbalize it. So the second one is logic. Logic is how do the pieces fit together. So if we're using language as the example, and it applies to almost all learning of anything. After you teach them the alphabet and words, you start teaching them, well, this word, you put ed on the end to mean it happened in the past. Like, I tied the knot. So you say, it's no longer TIE, it's actually TIED. So you teach them the mechanics of the subject, the logic of it. Like, this doesn't work, this does work. And then the third part is rhetoric, which is basically mastery. How do you, if you're using language again for our deal, so they know the alphabet, they know words, they know how to make sentences. Well, they need the rhetoric, they need to be able to be fluent in that. So the grammar here I'm teaching is these phrases that'll help identify these certain shapes of the rope. And so they're easier and faster to communicate and actually remember. So we're at the draw line hitch. We got the hole and the snake. So the snake, I guess you could say, I don't really have any words for this, but the snake goes over here, whatever you want to call that, and he goes down the hole. And that's the vital thing. Once you're here, you're fine. And then we go around this end over here, and you're supposed to go 5 to 7 times is what the official thing calls for. And what these are called are fraps, is what I call them. This might not be the exact terminology. Fraps are a little bit different, but I would consider that a frap. What's great about this hitch is it holds, man, and it's just so simple. And that right there is not going to bind on you. It's not going to seize up. So that goat, if I use this knot, once I need to untie him, well, it's no big deal. I just pull this apart and it comes apart, So very nice hitch. But a lot of times when people are tying hitches, they usually want the thing to be very secure and not come loose. And it might, so that's why people don't use it. And it's kind of confusing because you can go the wrong way with the drawline hitch. And so it's a very nice hitch, though. So that's the speedy hitch. Next, we're moving on to the loop. So we have a speedy loop. This is an interesting one. I didn't learn it from Grog. I learned this from David Canterbury over at Wilderness Outfitters on YouTube. I really like his work that he does on wilderness survival. Very good stuff. Well, he has these knots called jam knots. He has 2 others, which I've hence rejected. I had them in my list, but I found alternatives to them. But they're knots I've never heard about, and Grog hadn't heard about them either, or he didn't have them on his website. So this is a jam knot loop. So to make a jam knot loop, what you do is you get your working end and you make a regular overhand knot, which is a standard basic knot. And so that's that. Now we go to, we make a release knot, or a slip knot if you want to use that term. To make a slip knot, you can do it different ways, but you can do a hole in a snake, which is the way I do it. Put a bite into the hole, which is, just a fold, and then dress your little hole tight. I guess it's a half hitch. Dress that half hitch and then pull until you get to your knot, and you will see that knot impedes, I don't even know the word, but it doesn't allow I don't know, it's so simple I can't describe it. So that's it. That's your loop. But the thing is, this isn't super secure, but for like 90% of all your stuff this would work. The reason, I mean, this, you know, I could probably use this in the practical knot. However, like I said, it's not 100% secure, or it's not as secure as a bow line loop. And plus, this is speedy, so it fits the category real well. Next is a speedy. So sweet. It's a speedy snare category. Okay, and this is called a strangle knot. So you get your working in, and we go to a hole in a snake. It's very common. We're using the hole in the snake lately, and the snake goes under all this, under the hole, and then down in here. And here's a little interesting thing. A strangle knot is just an overhand knot, but it's an overhand knot that has a rope going in it. So I probably should have showed you the full, but anyways. So this is just, you know, regular knot here, here, here. That's a regular knot. But look at that. Now if we had a rope going through there, all of a sudden that's no longer the same. That right there is a strangle knot. And that's what we just made. Okay. So hole in a snake. There's down in there. Got this again. And that's it. Now something neat on this, especially if you're wilderness survival, you want the better this snare will close is the more open you have this. If I tighten that real tight, that's going to have more resistance. There's going to be friction in there. So if it's looser, that's going to flow a lot nicer when that's loose like that. And what you could do is you could have a long working in, or you could make another strangle knot. This is kind of more complex because it doesn't look the same. But you would do this and that. I mean, and you got another strangle knot. Okay, and then you could do that. And that's something I kind of meditated on. So there is our speedy snare. Next will be. Nope, I didn't do some speedy loop and line. I skipped one. I skipped the order. So we'll have to go back a category. Speedy loop and line we've actually already done. That is the we've done it in the power cinch hitch. Waterfall, the S. Waterfall comes back. The S comes up through the hole, and that's our directional figure 8. The reason why the word directional is in there is because this only works if the weight is down here. If you start moving the weight over here, this can collapse. It's not going to do it now, but apparently it's not safe for climbers and stuff like that. Okay, so loop and line, speedy snare. So now we're going to do the speedy grip. Speedy grip. You know, this is going to be really hard to show on film, or from this angle, I mean. This is called the Prusik hitch. Is that which one we'll work on? Yeah, or not Prusik hitch. It's called the Prusik hitch. I call it the Prusik grip. So you take a bend of a rope and you go around it. You don't really need to know. I don't really need to focus on showing you too much because this is not really. I just need to do this so I can think of anything I need to add. I'm already confused. What do I need to do next? Do it somewhere else. So 1, that's what it is. 2. I would just say the main thing you need to focus on with the Prusik grip is there needs to be 6 coils. Maybe I can show you here. So you got I keep trying to teach you, and I don't need to teach you. 1, really weird doing it from here. I don't know why that is. It's like I'm having a hard time of figuring out how does this rope get into there. It's just, I can't do it. It's just weird. I don't know what it is. But you want to focus. I just like to show you, but. Show you what I mean by the 6 coils. It's tough to work on this little pill bottle. And by the way, on these pills are antibiotics. And it's good to look at words and names of things. Antibiotic, if I say antichrist, it's like a bad thing. If I say perspirant, I guess that's a good thing. But I say anti. I'm trying to think of another term that says antichrist. I can't think of anything. But the word means, the name of these pills, the category of pills, means anti-life. It means, biotics means life. So it's anti-life. And what that means, besides the anti-life, how it works, I guess is what I'm trying to say, is it's going to kill the bacteria in your body. It's for infections. Now, what they don't really stress to you is that it's indiscriminate killing. It'll kill any bacteria in your body. I don't know if you know this, but we have bacteria in our bodies that are beneficial, that actually do things. So when you kill all the bacteria in your body, you take something that's indiscriminately kills all the bacteria, you don't. It might not be common sense that there's bacteria in your body and that it's good, and that if you kill it, it's kind of hard to get back. That's kind of the missing link of it all. Apparently, it's hard to get it back, and so when you build what's called a good floral system in your body, you don't want to just destroy it, because it's not easy to get it back. I mean, it's not like you can just eat some yogurt and get that floral activity back. I've never taken antibiotics, and that's what these are. I've never taken them, and I still didn't take them. I had kidney problems, and I drank, by the grace of God, Jesus Christ is His name. I heard about cranberry juice, and I took cranberry juice, and it completely healed me. Well, at least maybe it was prayers. I had people praying for me as well. But I took the cranberry juice, and man, I felt a lot better. My kidney pain was going away. I wasn't peeing blood anymore. It was a real blessing. But yeah, the antibiotics, they take the floral in your system, and I have 29 years of bacteria in my body, or 29-year-old bacteria maybe, you could say, or cultures, or what do you want to say. I think there's some good bacteria in there that I don't just want to wipe out, if I don't have to. I'm not saying that antibiotics don't have purpose. There might be a reason to take them, but and the medical doctor I went to, he didn't say anything about cranberry juice. These people, these medical doctors, they just have their pills. This is what you do. They don't. I went to 2 lately, and both of them seemed like they were on antidepressants. The second one I went to, he actually recommended I go on antidepressants, even though I'm not even depressed. I could say his name, but it wouldn't really help anybody because you guys aren't going to be local here. And I would state his name because he's a dangerous doctor. He's a dangerous medical doctor, an MD, for doing that. Because those antidepressants are bad for you. You see all the shootings that go on in America. Most of them are done from people that are on antidepressants. All the troops, the United States troops, most of them are on antidepressants before they even go to the war, and then they're on more of them or whatever, stronger ones when they get back. And there's a huge problem of soldiers committing suicide, probably because the United States government's committing criminal wars, and there's a lot of criminal activity going on. You can YouTube Jerry Rivers, he's commonly called. Man, what is it? Geraldo Rivera. You can see him on Fox News walking through a bunch of poppy fields. Poppy is used to make heroin. That's the only thing it's used for that I'm aware of. Anyways, yeah, two medical doctors, they're not into taking natural things to try to make you better. They're into just, whatever they were told in college, and that's they just say, oh, we'll just do this. It seems like medical doctors are not interested. The two I went to, they're not interested in healing you. They don't really. To me, it seems like they don't really care. They're just like, this is my job. It seems like they're not even fit for their job. I think when medical doctors started to become synonymous with like rich people, if you're a medical doctor, you're a rich person. I think that's kind of when the area when the medical doctors, the real ones, left. And plus, this is a really interesting topic. You have to be a debt slave to be a medical doctor unless you're already rich. So that's interesting. They have you buy the secrets. What that means? Well, let's see. Should I? They got a grip on you that if you're a medical doctor, you can't just renege and leave your office because you have this huge debt that you have to pay off. So you're in it for life. You're in that field. So you're a slave. This was a major off-topic here. Let's try to get back. So we're talking about. Oh yeah. So let me show you the Prusik grip. If I can show you the coils, let me try it this way. Why does this look so different? What's going on here? What in the world? Okay, I think my hand's going to be too. Well, I'm only going to be able to do it twice because my hand is too wide. Show my finger. Let's see here. It's really weird. Come on. I'm going to do it twice because for some reason it's difficult. So here we have 4 coils. That's Prusik. The thing I would teach someone if they're showing this, you got to have 6. Okay. So you should know how to do the Prusik. If you don't, then whatever. Okay. So now that was a speedy grip. The reason why I teach the Prusik is because it can grip any direction. I don't know. It's not super practical. I don't climb. I don't really need it. I could talk more about how to use it and whatnot, but I'm not going into that. Next speedy knot is Wouldn't it be funny if this wasn't recording and I was just like talking here for starting to have that feeling? I was like, shouldn't this thing be like telling me about storage or something? Anyways, okay. Second speedy group category is speedy hitches, and that's going to be. Oh, I like this one. This one's a neat little knot, and I'm gonna have a hard time showing you. Either way, it's called. I call it the double highwayman's hitch. But it's commonly called, and you'll find it on animatedknots.com, listed under, what does he call it? Let me put on pause and get that name. Okay, it's called the tumble hitch, animatedknots.com. I don't even know why it's called the tumble hitch. That's another example of a really useless name. I call it the double highwayman's hitch because it's similar to the double highwayman's. Okay. I'm not going to be able to show this one, but that would be that one. I could show it, but I don't want to set up a proper hitch post or something that I could show on the camera. And let me just have. I kind of feel like I'm wasting film if I read that. I don't know if you can. It's on HD or something, but. So, next speedy knot would be, let's see if there's anything else I need to say about the brain starting to slow down, getting tired. this will probably be the last part for today, this evening. So we just got done doing the Speedy. Man, it's crazy how sleep really slows you down. I mean, tiredness. It's interesting. So I can easily document on this video and start out, you know, I think I actually started out slightly. It was actually right around bedtime when I started the filming. Now we've progressed into an hour past bedtime, hour and a half. So, we're talking about knots, right? Speedy knots, hitches, no, specialty hitches, yeah. The double highwayman's hitch, that one's an interesting one because the history behind that is a highwayman is a robber, particularly like a horse robber. This is during the days when there were horses and no automobiles. And they would supposedly use this hitch to tie their horse up because it was very quick to untie the horse. And apparently, they would rob a place or maybe come into town or whatever, into the saloon, and do their deal, and then, you don't have to take forever untying your horse, so they'd use this hitch. So that's a highwayman. The next speedy knot would be, and my throat's giving out too, my voice box. Next speedy knot would be the miscellaneous group, and the next one is a very short and easy one. It's a stopper knot, the only stopper knot I use. It's a simple one. Climbers use it, mountaineer climbers use it, because it's simple. There's more better stopper knots in the sense of like bigger. A stopper knot, what that is, let's pretend this is like a hole or something. The knot will slip through, but if you put a knot on the end of it, like a stopper knot, and that hole can represent a lot of stuff. Like we talked about the hole in, we talked about the jam knot loop, right? So there's that hole, that's representing, and boom, it's, really, I can't really, where is it? I'm pulling on the wrong end. No, it stops it, So you can use that in different scenarios besides that, and it stops the knot, or stops the rope. It's also good if your end's frayed. These stopper knots, even the double overhand stopper knot, they're chosen because they don't come loose very easily. And that's also important. If you have a fraying rope, you want the end not to come loose very easily. And that is the speedy, because it's very speedy. I don't know if I'd actually did it on the film here. You just do regular overhand, but you don't stop, you don't tighten this, you do it one more time. Sure, there it is. So I believe that's it for this. Yeah, that's it for the speedy knots. Another 8 categories, and then we have next part. We're going to be doing the rescue knot series, and after that will be the master knot. And that last course, the master knot method, master knot course. That's the last course, and we'll be going into doing the other half of the 46 knots. Alright, well, we'll see you next time, if I'm so blessed to live another day. And I guess that's pretty much it for right now.